Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep. Okay, yes, we are back from a little break after dealing with the copyright strikes and other issues. Hopefully we can get back to pumping out your favorite content. Starting with Demon Slayer. Like, the Demon Slayer manga is getting super lit now, and if you guys aren't reading it, then you are missing out. The latest chapters are freely available on the official Viz site, so what are you guys doing? Go read it. But saying that, if it wasn't obvious, this video will contain spoilers for anime watchers only, and we are going to focus on chapter 187 rather than the latest one, as we really need to address the fight between the first breath user Yoriichii and Muzan. Like, goddamn, the fight was epic! But before we begin, there are a couple of things I need to address. Some of you guys might have heard from Ardle's Twitter that my boy is going through some hard times, and I can't really get into what it is. If he's willing to explain it in the future, then he will do so, but he will be away for another week or so, hopefully back by then. I would really appreciate if you could show some love by going to his Twitter and leaving your blessings and support. Lastly, for this review, we have Sam taking over. If you guys don't remember her, then make sure to watch our Demon Slayer video explaining the Demon Slayer mark. If you want her to continue doing videos here and there for us, then smash that like button, let us know how awesome she is in the comment section below. And with that, let's cue the intro and get right into it.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Sam, filling in for a little while, and we are back doing the latest Demon Slayer chapter review. I know that this is definitely going to give us some insight from Yoriichii's point of view, and previously we left off on the Demon Slayers trying their best to bring down the insidious Muzan, who had fought off Tamayo's medicine and has now regained his strength. We also got a glimpse of possibly Tanjiro dying and having a last final vision, or ancestral memory, and Nezuko possibly coming to his rescue as she sensed her brother's inevitable fate. Like, guys, let's not forget that Nezuko can actually heal him with her blood demon art, as it has shown to eliminate anything demon related. Okay, so let's get into this. The chapter starts with the battle that took place between Yoriichii and Muzan. Yeah, they're finally showing us what went down. Now, we have to remember that the whole reason for Muzan hunting Tanjiro is because in the beginning of the manga, he noticed him wearing the Hanafuda earring, the same as Yoriichii, which obviously means that the battle must have shook him to the point of feeling extreme rage whenever he remembers it. During this time period, it seemed that Yoriichii teaching the Demon Slayer's breathing styles really disrupted Muzan, as he pretty much mentioned that he is done with swordsmen who use breathing forms, which led Muzan to go straight for the kill. Now, Yoriichii begins by saying that he sensed that a single scratch from Muzan would kill him, and for the first time in his life he felt a chill, which is pretty shocking because of the way they portrayed Yoriichii to be fearless and somewhat of an emotionless child. Although, to be fair, some of that was through the eyes of his brother, the Demon Moon one Kokushibo, so it might have been a bit biased concerning he pretty much hated him. But coming to the point of a single scratch from Muzan being deadly, well, this also gives us insight about Yoriichii's ability to break down the enemy he faced. If Tanjiro or any of the other pillars had this ability, they would have avoided being cut and take less risk. However, even though Yoriichii faced such a monster that brought chills down his spine, it still looked like Yoriichii kept his cool with that stone face of his. So who can really tell what this guy is feeling? But seriously, this is basically showing us just how much power Muzan has, that he even shook the first breath style user, Yoriichii. And to put it into perspective, it's crazy how it is taking all of the Demon Slayers to defend against him now, and how back then it was just Yoriichii alone. Now, coming back to Yoriichii's point of view, we were able to see what he saw, and if we go back a couple of chapters, we know that throughout Yoriichii's life, he didn't see the world by normal standards. Being born with the mark, Yoriichii's perspective of life was literally from the see-through world. His understanding of the world was based on that. Later, after meeting the love of his life, Uta, he learned how normal people viewed the world. But having the ability of the see-through world gave Yoriichii the knowledge on how to kill Muzan, as in the next panel. Well, it is pretty crazy, man. They're showing us what Muzan's insides look like. Muzan's creepy as heck. My man's got 7 hearts, 5 brains. This demon's got to go. Wait a minute. But why would he need a brain in his stomach though? I mean, besides being gross, I'm not gonna lie. What if he gets punched there? Does that mean he'll lose a couple of brain cells? Alright, wait, let's discuss this a bit more. With this revelation of Muzan having multiple hearts, it pretty much explains how he had survived being decapitated. As logic states, that once the head, along with the brain, is separated from the heart, then the brain has no way to give signals to the heart and body. meaning the body should die, right? But when it comes to demons, it doesn't really matter if the body parts are separated. What matters is if the brain is alive. And unless the head is cut with a Nichiren blade, the connection between the brain and the body doesn't get severed, as we have seen earlier on in the series. Hence why the demon slayers use Nichiren blades. But in Muzan's case, if one brain is detached, he has another brain to act as a replacement, which gives his body the signal to heal by pumping blood faster, and because he has so many hearts, everything can happen extremely fast pass rate. But this very observation on how Muzan's body functions allowed Yoriichii to complete his sword form. Like, dude, Yoriichii just made the first and last attack, and that's all he needed to completely slice up Muzan and immobilize him. More than likely, this move is the last and final 13th form. But Yoriichii sliced all the right points in Muzan's body, cutting the brains from the heart. And look at Muzan's face, he is definitely in shock. This is probably the first time someone was able to cause him real damage. My man Tanjiro is also so desperate. He's like, give me that info because I'm gonna be the one to slay Muzan. Yeah guys, remember this story is being told to Sumiyoshi, who Tanjiro is currently channeled into. Alright, so after being sliced and diced, it seems like his head is completely severed from his body and he isn't able to regenerate. Which makes sense because it seems like most of the brains are severed from the heart. And I say most because Muzan is still alive at this point and does not seem to be turning into dust. Meaning likely there's still a small heart and brain intact. Well, it seems that the reason behind this is due to the fact that Yoriichii did not land the killing blow because he had wanted to ask Muzan a question that had been on his mind. So Yoriichii then asks Muzan, what is the value of a life to you? And Muzan's like, you're dumb, my head's chopped off? Mans can't answer that right now. No, but seriously, all jokes aside, we come to know that Muzan is cold-hearted and ruthless, which leads him to see no value in any humans he has encountered, and has shown little value in his own subordinate. Furthermore, his delusional sense of omnipotency is such that he compares himself to natural disasters, namely something that is far beyond what humans can compare to and fight against. Like in chapter 181, where he compares his actions to that of a great calamity. But because Muzan is obviously not going to answer that question, Yoriichii then turns his attention to the demon girl that was with Muzan, who we later find out is actually Tamayo. Rest in peace, Tamayo. Which, to be honest, I totally didn't even notice, because at first glance she just looked like an ordinary girl that maybe Muzan was trying to trick or something. But when Yoriichii begins observing her, it seems as though she was actually hoping for Muzan finally meet his end, which gives us a bit of a backstory that in this point Tamayo had been trapped under Muzan's control. But as Yoriichii went to land his final killing blow to Muzan, Muzan started grinding on his teeth, possibly using some sort of blood demon art to escape, and Muzan explodes into tiny chunks. Well, it seemed like Muzan did some Dragon Ball Perfect Cell type of thing where his whole existence spread out into these small pieces. But Yoriichii, being the next level legend he is, cuts more than 1,500 of the 1,800 little pieces of Muzan that exploded. The remaining pieces that got away helped Muzan rebuild his brain and heart, and Yoriichii suggested that these pieces combined into a small lump and grew from there. Dang, this means that if only Muzan had been finished off at this time, further pain and suffering he caused would have never happened. Tamayo then begins to cry and states that she believes Muzan has overcome the weakness of beheading, either referring to how he survived by exploding himself, or possibly because she didn't understand that Yoriichii just messed up by not destroying all the hearts and brains when he had the chance. As Yoriichii starts to console Tamayo, she curses him, calling out Muzan's name, and at this point realizes upon doing so, she is still alive, meaning she has become unlinked to Muzan for that moment, during his state of weakness. This is actually a pretty cool way of giving us a bit of Tamayo's backstory. Now Tamayo introduces herself, and Yoriichii decides to pair up with her, but this alliance was interrupted by a fellow demon slayer, more likely the Flame Pillar due to his strong resemblance to Rengoku. It seems he had come to tell Yoriichii that his older brother had become a demon. So this is the point where he had learned about his older brother becoming a demon, which we later know to be Demon Moon 1 Kokushibo. Man, this guy must feel as though he had failed everyone, and instead of the other demon slayers being a bit understanding, they banished him from demon slaying. Like, I get it. His own brother became a demon, he ultimately let Muzan escape by waiting to land the final strike, and he let some random demon girl Tamayo live, which to the other demon slayers might seem like the most ridiculous thing to do. But why would you banish such a good demon slayer? I mean, obviously they took it too far as well, with some of them telling him he should just end his life. Obviously this is totally wrong, and Yoriichii just underestimated Muzan's demon blood techniques. But what are your guys' opinion on this situation? Do you think that it was all Yoriichii's fault Muzan continued to bring chaos to the lands? Well, if you think about it, with Yoriichii, none of the other demon slayers would have gotten anywhere. They wouldn't have gotten stronger, no marks, no breathing cell, nothing. Luckily, the new appointed Ubuyashiki master at that time prevented Yoriichii from actually killing himself, cause let's be honest, he probably would have, with the level of honor this guy has. Because of this event, more than likely, Yoriichii didn't consult any of the other members about what he had learned about Muzan, like the numbers of hearts and brains in his body, along with any strike for Muzan being a death kill. If this information was shared, more than likely we would have found it out in the Rengoku journal, and it would have been shared through the Demon Slayer corpse. But because we know that Tanjiro learned that there are 13 forms to the dance of the fire god from the Rengoku's journal, it would seem that Yoriichii did in fact explain what happened to some detail. Maybe they just didn't believe him concerning Muzan's anatomy and abilities. Who knows the reason this information wasn't passed down. Anyways, after all this, it transitions back to Yoriichii speaking again with Tanjiro's ancestor, telling him how he believed he was born with special strength for the purpose of defeating Kibutsuji Muzan, but how in the end he was just lacking and now many more people come to die at Muzan's hands. This is just downright sad. He is going down a spiral of depression. And to make it even more heart-wrenching, Yoriichii begins to cry as he holds Sumiyoshi's baby in his hand. Maybe remembering he once could have had a child as well, if demons had never existed in this world. Well, in the end, it just shows Sumiyoshi's wife coming back to find Yoriichii crying over her baby. So she goes to him and comforts him. That is pretty much the story Tanjiro learns, and of course, Tanjiro being as sweet as he is, wishing that Yoriichii's heart will find even just a bit of peace. I think as do we all. And more than likely, Nezuko will end up saving Tanjiro, and he will be ready to fight Muzan with the newfound information he got from this ancestral memory. We all know that Tanjiro is capable of using the see-through worlds, and that will be the key to his victory. However, we don't know if Muzan managed to think of a counter to his attack since his fight against Yoriichii. Like this new form Muzan is fighting in wasn't really shown in his bout with Yoriichii, so Tanjiro might need to pull off something far greater than just using the 13th form. Alright, and with that I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know what you thought about this chapter, and if you would like a review on the next chapter, which is a little bit about the Snake Pillars backstory, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys till next time.